Hey everyone, my name is Mark, and welcome to this week's astrological forecast for the week of July 13th to 19th of 2022. This week we're going to go over this full moon in Capricorn that's happening. It looks like there's some positive aspects this week leading into kind of a transformational place near the end of it. It may be a bit intense near the end, but I think it will lead us into a much better space. Again, I go through the astrology of this week for the collective in general. And I do pull cards at the end to help give us more insight into this energy. I do this with the cycles of the moon, so they don't always fall on the same days during the week, as obviously our calendar system does not flow properly with the cycles of the universe. I'm also going to be posting some other videos this week as well. Some actual sun sign horoscope videos, so based off of your sun, moon, and rising. So if you want to check those out, you can do so as well. All right, that being said, let's get into the charts. Okay, so to start off this week on Wednesday, we have the full moon in Capricorn. As you can see here, we got the sun down here in Cancer, directly opposing this full moon in Capricorn at 21 degrees. So, time to get to work emotionally. So Capricorn does deal with work, it deals with our goals. With the moon here, it deals with maturity as well. With the moon here, it's going to deal with more aspects of emotional maturity. Moon in Capricorn can be very, I don't want to say reserved, but like, it's not like they don't feel emotions, but they don't really express, because Capricorn also deals with your public image as well, so they don't really express things, I guess, to an extreme unless they're pushed to that point. Capricorn, it involves work, right? So you kind of have to work to get to a certain point. So Capricorn isn't going to necessarily express certain emotions until it's pushed to a point where it may need to do so. So it's very controlled and it has an aspect of maturity in that way, as opposed to Cancer down here where we have, emotional breakdowns, wanting to eat a tub of ice cream and watch Netflix. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's however you cope is however you cope. But again, Capricorn is the opposite of that, where it's a bit more kind of reserved. It'll kind of, if there's an emotional issue, it'll kind of be like, okay, I need to figure out how to deal with this. It'll kind of, make a meticulous plan in order to best the situation. Capricorn always wants to be the best. So if there's something that's an issue that's happening, it's always going to want to figure out the best approach and do whatever it can in order to reach the outcome of that. And whatever lessons that are learned through that are taken obviously into account and into the future for future reference and stuff as well. That's where kind of the maturity of Capricorn comes in. So through this opposition, it's kind of like the sun represents our ego down here in Cancer, so could be potentially ego sensitivities. Opposing maybe a more mature heart space. This could be the ego versus the heart. And with Pluto here, it could be helping to give power to these more mature emotional parts of ourselves, that heartfelt part of ourselves, because you have to remember this is also trining aspecting the nodes, kind of trining the south node, sextiling the north node. If you're the sun, and then if you're the moon, you're trining the north node, sextiling the south node. So with this, it's the north node here with Uranus. It's what is the direction that we really want to go in life that is our own unique path. And emotionally and maturely suits us. That's not going to cut into our emotional sensitivity. It's going to allow us to achieve our goals emotionally and throughout our lives. And Pluto here is giving power to that. And Pluto here is an opposition. And I mean, Mercury's down here too. We're in opposition to this. And we're going to see this later this week, this Mercury combust. But maybe these emotional sensitivities or these ego sensitivities involving the mind that may have to be transmuted or killed off in a sense in order to maintain this more mature emotional space. So through this opposition, we're finding more of a balance between I want to say the ego and the heart, but also our emotions and our maturity. So it's like, are we down here in like little kid land, just whining about how we feel, or are we going to do something about it? In Capricorn, Capricorn's like, well, let's figure it out. Let's make a plan. Let's do something about it to make it better, to make it the best, right? And with this aspect to the nodal axis, obviously with Scorpio, South Node in Scorpio, things are going to come up that may need to be transmuted in order to push forward into this more, I don't want to say, we could say more positive space, but more of the life that you want, the unique life that you want. Because Uranus is in here in Taurus, and it is showing us aspects of our physical world, Taurus being money, goods, things that make us feel good in that regard, feel good, taste good, look good, smell good. Uranus is here, disturbing things, showing us what isn't working, right? Because if it truly was stable, Uranus wouldn't be able to come here and fuck shit up. You know what I mean? But but the thing is, these old structures of our world, which Pluto was here bringing up aspects of to destroy, or to be transmuted, I should say, they're not working anymore. And Uranus is clearly showing us that, right? So what is the new direction that we want to go? Well, we have to put in the work emotionally from a heart space and what we truly want, and not from a whiny ego space. And I'm not saying Cancer is whiny in that space, but what I'm saying is those sensitivities and that emotional part of it, especially when it comes to the mind and the ego can't see what the heart sees, can't see what our emotions see, right? And Cancer does rule the emotions, but this could be like more of, it's like, again, it's more of in an ego space. So it's about finding this proper balance between this ego space and being more mature in that emotional space, right? So Capricorn is, people think of Capricorn as hard, it can be kind of evil. It's the devil card. It can be controlling. But in this case, I think it's helping to balance this out, because you don't want to be extreme in either direction. You don't want to be extreme Capricorn, and you don't want to be extreme Cancer. Just like you don't want to be extreme in any sign or any aspect of life, because that puts you in a place where you're not in balance, right? The universe works to try to achieve balance, and you want to try to achieve balance between all the signs. And of course, that's what any opposition is. So with this full moon, which I keep thinking in my head I want to call a new moon, because I think I said in last week's video, it's like our full moons, new moons, and new moons, full moons, because I feel like it's kind of different. But this could be a release of some of these ego aspects, but I think it's more of a release as in it's more coming into balance. We want to reach a more balanced state where we can more maturely, emotionally start to push forward into the new and amazing reality that is coming for us. And if we take a look here as well, we also have Mars in Taurus. And this is the drive to what is going to, bring us the good life. It's that passion and that drive to build the life that we want to live. But again, it's slow. In Taurus, it's slow because it's very nurturing. I don't want to say it's slow isn't a bad thing. It's slow as in it's nurturing. It wants to take its time, but obviously that's hard for the warrior energy and that masculine doing energy, because it feels really stuck in the mud in Taurus because it's a fixed earth sign. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes taking it slow and realizing what you really do want and to push towards this new world. And Capricorn likes to take things slow and meticulous too, to make sure it reaches the best outcome. And it wants to achieve its goals. Capricorn sets very high goals for not only itself, but the people around them. And it wants to do the best. and it'll do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. And in this case, this is emotionally and being more mature emotionally and doing what it takes and not letting the ego and the mind necessarily get in the way of that. It's about balancing more of the heart space and the mind space. And Pluto here is helping us with that, to transmute this old stuff, to help bring power to this balance. And also to help us, see that a bit better. So that'll be the main aspect of this full moon. Again, there is a release aspect to this, but I don't really feel like this is the typical like full moon. Oh, we're going to release all of this stuff. Because with Capricorn here, it's also about putting in the work and about what are our goals in the direction for us to move forward. Right? So I feel like that's more of kind of what this is. There is a release happening. And again, for people who are really kind of stuck in maybe an ego type space, this may be a bit more difficult for them, as that aspect will come up. It will be shown more with Pluto here. Because again, as we head into the day, the moon is going to conjunct Pluto. And of course, as it comes off of this opposition, it's still going to be technically in opposition. As it starts to move into more of a conjunction with Pluto, it's in a wide conjunction right now on this full moon, but it's going to move more into an actual conjunction. And as it does that, it'll still be an aspect to the sun. So there may be a slight aspect to this that will be difficult for this mind ego aspect and the sensitivities regarding that, since it's Cancer. And then, of course, the moon will sextile Neptune, as it is kind of now, but be exact later into the evening. So again, this is bringing up sensitivities, and also aspecting this Pluto-Neptune sextile, this power and control, this deception. So we also have this full moon at 21 degrees, which is a Sag degree. So there is a positivity to this and an expansion to this, right? There's an expansion to this balance. There's an expansion to this thing, and there's something positive that could possibly come out of this. And as Jupiter is what rules Sagittarius, and we have Jupiter here in Aries, this does deal with ourself, our goals, our self-empowerment. And this is a very positive aspect to that. So despite the fact that it's in opposition, remember, we're bringing things back into balance. And we have some bigger Sagittarius kind of positive energy in with this. So it may feel a bit intense for some people, like I said, in that ego mind space, especially with Pluto here. But Pluto is giving power to this moon in Capricorn to achieve more of a heart space, mature emotional aspect. And again, as it comes into this, maybe with aspecting Neptune into more of a space of our dreams, because with Neptune here 25 degrees, this is an Aries degree, so our dreams are, the individual kind of aspect, that sense. I don't really want to get into the negative parts where I've talked with this Pluto and Neptune stuff before, because this can be bringing also aspects of deception and division, as Pluto is also at a Gemini degree, which is bringing division through power. And with Neptune at this 25 degree here, to more of that intense aspect of pushing a vision that maybe really isn't there. But I feel like with this opposition here, with this kind of destruction from Pluto of certain ego aspects, there may be a more positive outcome from this moving forward, especially in an individual, more collective type of stance. So we also here have the sun is starting to build in its trine to Neptune. So again, this is building into the dream. There may be certain ego sensitivities. Again, we're at 25 degrees here, so we may be dealing with some masculine ego kind of issues, or this could be the masculine energy also helping to push this feminine aspect as well. and to create more of a benefit. But again, we're not going to see that. Its sun is starting to build this. We're going to start to see this more so near the end of the week. We do have Mercury will sextile Uranus today too. So we're going to have a change of mind. Again, I don't know if you felt this past weekend, but there were some changes with the sun sextile Uranus, but I think we've all experienced change in direction in our lives. A lot of it, I think, was positive. I know the card I pulled for that, I believe, was the Five of Swords, winning at all costs. I felt that could have been negative, but I think it could have been maybe we were trying to win at all costs and Uranus was trying to help us switch in a more beneficial direction. So there may have been a better way to play the game, so to speak. And I think because, remember, Uranus is very hard to predict, but it's about uniqueness, rebellion, things happening out of nowhere, instability. And you can't really predict instability unless through certain aspects of like testing and stuff, but sometimes it's hard for edge cases for you to figure out. And again, it just tends to happen out of nowhere. But with Mercury here, this may be a change of mind. And with Mercury kind of conjunct the sun, there could be ego aspects to this. Again, and then we are in Taurus here, and it's in the direction that we want to head to this unique kind of life that we do want. Right? So there may be a change here in regards to this, in regards to ourselves, to move into a better space. And again, we're dealing with this fixed Taurus energy in regards to goods, money, economical stuff. There may be more communications of that, more aspects of that, maybe even within our local environment. And helping to nurture certain things like that in Cancer. So as we're in Cancer, so there could be aspects to that in this sextile as well. We'll get more into that when we pull some cards and we'll see what the universe has to tell us more about that aspect. And Mercury is, and I kind of did touch on this, it is aspecting the nodes in this as well. So there is more of a destiny kind of, or but maybe more, could be destiny, but also just more the direction, the change in direction of where we need to be headed as a collective and as humanity in our lives. As Uranus is showing us what is not working. So yeah, we also have on this day Venus. I got a lot going on here. Venus squaring Neptune in Pisces. So, and this is at, it will be at, I don't know why I wrote Pisces degree, but it's at an Aries degree because it's at 25. So, what are we deceiving ourselves in our own mind and in our relationships? And again, Venus is also the ruler of Taurus. This is our material things within our local environment. I feel like there's more, and also the certain dream aspects, there may be more, maybe more of us interacting. I don't know why this is coming to me, but more of us interacting within our local environments together, like individually building our dreams within our own place, within our own environments. There seems to be a lot of people that are getting away from the rat race from the old world, and I'm being drawn to this trine here to Saturn as well that Venus has just come off of. This would have happened overnight. And with Saturn bringing more of a stability to us connecting together within the collective, and with it heading into this 25th degree here, which is an Aries degree, of what we can do for ourselves and being independent within ourselves, but still being a part of the collective. It's almost like with this Pluto here, because there is this inconjunct. I don't really want to get into too many minor aspects because I could talk forever if I keep going on and on. But with Pluto here trying to basically destroy the old world, We are trying to move maybe more into a more independent space in terms of commerce, in terms of how we connect with other people, how we make money, how we receive and exchange our material things, a more independent dream of that. And working together in that regard, helping each other out within our own environments and through communicating with each other and such, so that we can break away from this old corporate structure of control, right? And bringing more of the dream and the structure to us. And again, I'm also being drawn that the Pisces real spirituality. There's a divinity to this, and maybe it is divinely guided to maybe empower ourselves a bit more, and with the people around us, in our environments, and to maybe become more independent and to be more reliant on that instead of reliant on these old structures, which are clearly falling apart, which Uranus is showing is clearly falling apart. And again, this Uranus is still in square to Saturn. So these squares peaked in 2021, and we saw a lot of shakeups that year. But it's still, this energy is still here. And it's kind of getting a bit closer again as Saturn retrogrades and Uranus moves to conjunct the North Node. And we're going to see maybe a bit more power to this as we're going to have Mars, Uranus, and the North Node conjunct near the end of this month. So we are going to see more shifts and changes in regards to the structures of our society, and it's going more towards the collective and how we can individually do our own thing but yet be a part of the collective. This is giving more power back to the people in this regard. So yeah. Anyways, that should be it for Wednesday. Looks like a very full moon. There's a lot of energy going on, but let's move on now to Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday, we now come off of that full moon energy as we have the moon ingress Aquarius. The moon in Aquarius takes on a unique nurturing vibe. It may be, it's a bit different in how we nurture, how we feel our emotions. Aquarius is able to, again, kind of more separate itself more from its emotions. So it's only going to kind of dive into this space if it really needs to. And again, this is bringing out more of our unique emotional aspects, as well as carrying on, because Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, as well as the modern ruler of Capricorn. So we're still carrying on maybe this more mature vibe from this full moon and kind of bringing it more, because again, Aquarius is able to separate itself from its emotions, like I said. So we're still in this kind of more emotional, mature kind of a space, and it's a more of kind of a logic. I don't want to say a logical space, but I feel like it's it can be in a sense a more intuitive space, as Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And Uranus kind of has things coming out of nowhere, and it kind of exists far out there. So you may have far out ideas or far out feelings kind of come that can really help you through this. It will square Mars and sextile Jupiter. So within this, with this square to Mars, it's does our unique emotional path match this vibration of our efforts in order to build the world that we want? You know, so this is more, again, that Uranus, North Node, Taurus. Are we moving in our own unique direction? And this is bringing it up emotionally for us. And where do we need to mature in our own unique way this direction, right? Because we're just trying to bring balance to the square. This is slightly butting heads, but it's trying to figure out this issue in terms of the direction of where we want to head into the world that we want, right? And with this sextile to Jupiter, this is bringing positive aspects of self, of independence, of individuality, and also where that fits in where your own uniqueness fits in within the collective. All right. Also on this day, we have the sun moving now to 22 degrees, which is a Capricorn degree. So feel like the aspect, again, like I mentioned with this moon in Aquarius, now with the sun at a Capricorn degree, we're still kind of in this space a little bit. It's not necessarily a whole opposition of that full moon energy, but we're still feeling this Capricorn, more mature type of an energy, especially within this Cancer space of, maybe utilizing this nurturing energy to push us towards the goals that we want and the better world that we want to live in that sense. Mercury does peak in its aspect to the nodes today. Later on in the afternoon, I have this set around noon Mountain Time. And we're happening at a Scorpio degree. And while it's building in, it's trying to Neptune. So again, and it's building in its conjunction to the sun. So this is very mind ego stuff that may need to be, again, transmuted, again, carrying on from this full moon energy, right? Of where Pluto was helping us with this. And Pluto still is, as it is in opposition here still as well. But at the Scorpio degree, it's diving deep, maybe into our intellect, into our mind, help in this nurturing process, and also help to kind of pull up any negativity from this ego space to be transmuted into more of a mature, emotional, heartfelt space and how we can actually positively move forward. Because this is also South Node in Scorpio, so it's very, it brings up more of these aspects of bringing these things up for transmutation to move into the unique positive path in which we want to go. All right, it looks like that's all I've got for Thursday, so let's move on to Friday. Okay, so on Friday here, we still have the moon in Aquarius. It is, I don't have it here, it is going to square Uranus. It will sextile Chiron a bit earlier in the day, I believe. Square Uranus and then square the nodes. And it will conjunct Saturn, which is actually moved back to 23, also an Aquarius degree. And the sun is also here as well at an Aquarius degree. So with this sextile to Chiron in Aries, this is bringing up possibly wounds to self, but in regards to our uniqueness. And with the moon here, it could be sensitivity in regards to that and also nurturing that. But I feel like all of this is about moving more in our unique direction and trying to learn more to come together as a collective. In this more mature emotional space, because as I said, Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. And with the sun at this degree, again, we're still kind of somewhat carrying on these full moon aspects and moving through this. But it's going to be in a more mature space. Because again, Saturn restricts. So as the moon comes over this is very mature emotional stuff coming through here and to address things in an emotionally mature way. And I think especially with the sextile to Chiron and Aries, we don't want to play the victim role, but we want to understand our uniqueness within the collective and how we can utilize that in order to be a proper functioning part of society and within that collective as well in our own unique independent way. And with the square to the nodes and Uranus, I feel like it's kind of bringing that up. It's pushing this aspect even more. In the Scorpio, South Node Scorpio, what do we really need to dive deep into look at that we really need to get rid of that's hindering us from this, from our unique path, from our uniqueness, what makes us feel like a victim? We don't want that victim mentality. And I get it. We may have been victimized individually in the past or hurt in that way, but we need to understand that is just our own uniqueness and that needs to be loved and that we do fit in to the collective in our own unique individual way. And again, this is aspecting the nodes. That's the push forward, especially, and again, with Uranus here, on your own unique path, in your own unique life, in your own unique way, into our own unique world, into a better world that actually has this understanding and this more mature emotional understanding of these things. And less of this mind ego-ish sensitivity aspect, but more of a mature understanding of the uniqueness of everyone within the collective. And actually, looking at my notes here, I feel like I kind of covered everything on a kind of Friday all in one go here. I did have written here that Saturn, now that it's retrograding back to 23, is pushing again closer in its square to Uranus. So again, this is the changing of the structures of the world, right? The world that we once lived in, this old traditional world, is coming to an end with Pluto here. These powers are coming out. All this stuff is coming to an end, right? And it's this energetic push towards a new and better space. But we're going to have a lot of, again, there's going to be a lot of icky, tough stuff that comes up as this South Node in Scorpio exists here, because it needs to come up for transmutation. Scorpio is we're diving deep into these old things to basically crap them out and flush them down the toilet, because we don't need them anymore. Right? We don't need them anymore as a society. They're not serving us anymore. And to be honest, I don't really think they ever really did. Because Pluto is well, yeah, never mind. I'm thinking of my own chart here. But yes, there is this transmutational aspect, and it's pushing, and these things need to go in order to push us towards our unique, new, vibrant future. And yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to move on. So that's it for Friday. Let's move on to Saturday. Okay, so for Saturday, it feels like a very Pisces day. So we have the moon ingress Pisces here, and it's going to sextile Mars. We also have, just to finish the kind of the Pisces trend here, we have this Mercury combust here in Cancer, but it's at 24 degrees, which is a Pisces degree. So we have kind of this strong, we've kind of moved from this more mature, maybe we've matured emotionally now. Now we're moving back into this more dreamy, kind of sensitive state. Maybe a reset back into a more emotional space instead of, or maybe a more emotional flowing space instead of this goal-oriented space. So we've kind of set our goals. We've realized our uniqueness. Now we're trying to manifest it. Now we're in this space of intuition, spirituality, dreams, fantasy. And this is sextiling Mars in Taurus. The physical life and aspects of money, goods, services, what feels good, smells good, tastes good. And they're in sextile. So there's this aspect of this dream now, emotionally, of what we can possibly physically bring into life. And again, with Pisces, it kind of came into my head with Pisces, things get attracted to you in Pisces, right? This is spirituality. You're going with the flow. You go with the flow to allow the universe to bring you to the right place, to where things just come to you, where you're not actually putting in maybe as much of the work. You still have to do the work, but we've already set our goals here and understood the unique aspects of this Capricorn Aquarius, and now we're kind of heading more into a space of, okay, we want to, where is this going? We now have this dream, this idea, and we want to manifest it now. Where is this going for us to build it within our physical reality? And again, with the sun here, combust Mercury, this is enhancing our mental aspects in this regard. In Cancer, that nurturing emotional sign, it's nurturing these thoughts, these ideas, these visions that we now have into this reality and into action steps we can take, but nurturing action steps, because you have to remember Mars and Taurus is slow. It's nurturing. These are very nurturing. This is very nurturing feminine aspects. This is very feminine energy now. So we've seen our goals. We've got more into balance here. And now we're kind of more into like this nurturing, building space. We want to manifest this stuff so that it comes to us. So that's what I feel. That's what I feel for Saturday. It's a very Pisces day. You could feel Pisces can also be very lazy. This could be a very lazy Saturday. Especially in terms of this slow Mars, slow to take action. But again, it's taking action to what you want to do, not necessarily what you're being forced to do. It's for your own goals, your own dreams, your own visions, and those kinds of aspects. This is very, it's a positive push forward, and Pisces kind of trying to help us build the dream. And again, with Mercury combust, it's giving power again to this mental nurturing energy to help us visualize and think of, where we want to go, and maybe even communicate that from a heart space and an emotional space. All right, let's move on to Sunday. Okay, so here on Sunday, we've kind of got a lot more going on. We still have this moon in Pisces, but I just kind of want to bring up the fact here. We do have the sun now. So Mercury's moved off its conjunction with the sun. And the sun is now at an Aries degree, 25 degrees. And it is directly trine to Neptune. But I feel like now that we've kind of had this moon sextile Mars and this push to our kind of maybe emotional manifestation and the thoughts kind of bringing up this Pisces dream aspect, we're now in an action step. And we're being helped here by the universe to kind of bring us what we want and what we desire. Bring us the dream, basically. Bring us the fantasy in this trine to the sun at 25 degrees, an Aries degree, which is an action degree. It's a Mars degree, right? And it's also an individual degree. So it's going to be pushing this into more of an action state for ourselves and our dreams. We may be divinely guided, or we may feel this manifestation more come towards us, or we may be, like I said, divinely guided to take certain action steps. And I'm also being drawn to this opposition to Pluto as well, as the sun builds into it. Pluto could be giving this more power, as it is in Capricorn, more power to a physical manifestation of this coming up through these action steps on the dream that we're seeing here. Because we are going to have the moon, so it is going to come in, it is going to sextile Uranus and the North Node here. So this is bringing us into this space of moving towards what we want in the new world, in the new world that we want. And trine this Scorpio energy for the South Node of what we kind of got rid of from the past, but it also giving power to push forward into this North Node Uranus space. It looks like the moon will also trine the sun, again giving more power to this in this Aries energy space, this drive space. Like I said, this intuitive action space to move forward to build this within our lives. We also kind of brought that up. We also have Venus here it's at a critical degree of Gemini. And will ingress Cancer later into this evening. So this is at a Leo degree. So we're at our heart space. What do we love? Right? In Venus is again our career, how we make money, our material things, as well as our relationships. And in Gemini, dealing with our local environment, our communication, quick movement. We're kind of at the end of this. We may need to act fast, as we are still in square to this Neptune energy. We may need to act fast with this Neptune at this Aries degree on whatever intuitive hits that we get. And it may come through our mind, through communication, through these aspects. And it is still in trine to Saturn, the things that we want to do within our own environment, our locality, to help the people, not necessarily help the people around us, but to be a part of it, or to be a part how we can be a part of the collective in our own unique way, and how we can build that in our own independent way and guided that through, or spiritually be guided through that. So this looks like Sunday's kind of carrying on more from Saturday, but in a more action-oriented kind of a way in order to build upon this Pisces energy. So again, Pisces, I don't want to say Pisces can be lazy. Pisces likes to chill, but Pisces will take action on that spiritually guided stuff. And I feel like that's kind of what this is happening as Pisces rules spirituality. So what it feels in the flow to take action on, it will take action on. It doesn't want to necessarily be told what to do and where to go in the structured, boxed space, because that's more Virgo, and Pisces is the opposite of that. It wants to go with the flow. So once Pisces gets that intuitive hit and that guidance, it will know that, okay, this is where I need to, in that flowing space, it'll know I'm going to take action on this now. And that's kind of the space that we're in on Sunday. With that, let's move on to Monday. Okay, so on Monday, we have this moon ingress Aries here. So again, we have this more emotional push, this more emotional drive, this more reactive energy emotionally in this push. And I'm being drawn for some reason to this trine to Mercury in Cancer. So this may be this mind aspect of communicating certain things. This may be a drive. We also have Venus in Cancer now, so we're moving into more emotional, sensitive space. And with Moon in Aries, it's very reactive. But with this trine here, I feel like this may be more of a positive aspect in terms of communication of this maybe building of what we want and where we want to go. And it almost could feel defensive in a sense of that. We are also building, Mercury at this time is in opposition to Pluto. So maybe with this, we have some kind of this death, because it is still kind of conjunct the sun here. So there could be this opposition of ego factors in play. There could be sensitivities to this, and there could be reactions and outbursts in regards to this. But I almost feel like this is more positive, as in it's in more of a defense and giving power to where it is that you want to go and what you want to nurture within your own life. Because again, Aries is a very powerful doing masculine sign. Pluto gives power to wherever it is, and it's in this opposition state, trying to achieve the balance in this nurturing space and giving power in this building it within the reality and within this nurturing space. And trine the moon here, this may be an aggressive nurturing push, and it may feel defensive, as Cancer is the mother energy, and when you're nurturing and mothering something, you may feel defensive and guarded against it as you push forward through this stuff. Right? And this is, like I said, this is at a Gemini degree in this opposition. And we have the sun at a Taurus degree. So this is a very stubborn, very only wanting to do what you want kind of a thing. And Gemini degree deals with communication, and maybe I'm feeling like the other side. As Gemini, the twins, there's two sides. So it's like the other side. You may feel defensive against maybe an opposition to you trying to nurture something that you want. But with that sun at a Taurus degree, I feel like it's a very nurturing vibe. You're still going to be building it, but you're going to be at a more defensive kind of state. No, this is what I want. Taurus is only going to do what it wants. It's not going to do what it doesn't want. Okay, Taurus wants, like I said, to feel good, taste good, like all of that, all of the good stuff. That's what Taurus wants. If it's not in the good section, Taurus is going to tell you to piss off. Like, it doesn't care. It's very stubborn. It doesn't give a shit, right? It's a stick in the mud. It's going to do what it wants. And with this Aries energy here, again, this is kind of activating a bit of this push. So there may be some defensiveness going on. And again, Moon in Aries, it's this very reactive energy, and it may express itself in that way. But I feel like it's it seems like it'd be more defensive with this nurturing, more mother kind of type of aspect going into this and you wanting to build this reality. Because you may feel this opposition from these control structures, but again, Pluto could also be helping and giving power this area as well. So it's kind of trying to achieve that balance. And yeah, Mercury will head in later this evening into its last degree of Cancer, which again is a Leo degree of what you love, dealing with aspects of love, self-love, in this regard, and it's a critical degree. So it's kind of this big push. So there's some big push energy and maybe some I don't want to say possibly heavier energy, more intense, let's say, near the end of the day on Monday, as we reach that critical degree after that opposition to Pluto. That's all I have for Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday here, we have the lead up to the third quarter square, the last quarter square of the moon and the sun. So here we have the sun now in its opposition to Pluto at that Gemini degree. So again, we're carrying over still some of this energy from Monday, where it may feel a bit intense. Again, in this opposition of this nurturing energy to this controlling power energy. But again, this could also be Pluto giving power again to this nurturing energy. It's this balance between these two that need to happen, in order for us to continue that dream, again, this trine to Neptune to move forward. And with Mercury now moving into Leo, the 0 degree, again, we're at another critical degree here at the start of Leo. And again, this is in regards to our communication, but maybe more so aligning our mind with our heart in a sense, and communicating more from a heart space and a more creative space in terms of building what we want to build and move forward in, and maybe transmuting and helping to give power to some more nurturing ego type of energy and not a negative ego type of energy, right? And a more loving type of that and communication of that. We are going to have the moon as it's building into this square, it's going to conjunct Chiron. So again, there is that, like I said from the previous day, maybe that defensive state and this nurturing of what you want, because this moon is going to bring up that Chiron aspect, those aspects of ourselves that we don't like to look at, those wounds, but the uniqueness about ourselves. Where we've been wounded, we can sometimes use as a tool. Where we're unique, we can sometimes use as a tool to represent our individuality and to fit into the collective in that regard, to help others that may have been in a similar situation, or express that uniqueness to just help others in some way, even if they're not the same as us. We may, it reaches that balance between how you can help somebody else and how they can help you, and how we can help each other as a society. And there's that uniqueness there of self, and it because of the moon, it may be sensitive. There may be, again, reactions to this, especially with this opposition to Pluto. This energy, it could be intensified, but again, I feel like it's more defensive than it is offensive, right? We're defending ourselves and our ability to nurture and push forward in our own unique individual lives, the unique individual world that we want to live in. And of course, also on this day, we have Venus. I think it'll happen later on, but you can see it will start later as it moves forward to build in its square to Jupiter. So with Jupiter and Aries and Venus here, this is building on and nurturing those relationships, careers, money aspects, material things. It's nurturing that within Cancer for the self. Jupiter is here, it's giving the gift in terms of independence. When you've moved in this direction of independence and being yourself and being that unique part of the collective and contributing to that, it can bring you that gift, it can bring you that abundance in. And Venus will start to build in its square to this Jupiter energy. And we may feel that start to come in by the end of this week, heading into this last quarter square of the moon. Anyways, that's all I have for the astrology right now. So we can move in to do some cards and see what they have to say. Okay, so for the cards for this week, I'll just mention the deck that I normally use. It's the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radley Valentine. All right, we do have quite a few transits that I would like to pull cards for. First one obviously being that full moon in Capricorn on Wednesday at Sag degree. So let's turn this around the appropriate way. There we go. Get a decent shuffle here. Okay, so let's see what the universe wants to tell us for that full moon in Capricorn on Wednesday. And here we have the Three of Water. In traditional tarot, this is the Three of Cups. So it says celebration, community, and friendships. So again, I think this is leading into a very positive week of celebration. Again, Capricorn, emotional maturity. This is dealing with our goals, where we want to go, and celebrating that, and celebrating our uniqueness and moving forward. So through doing reading all that astrology, it did feel, a lot of it felt very positive. I think we're heading into a more positive space, and I think this is definitely something to celebrate. So that's good. Let's move on to the next one. So the next major thing that we're going to pull cards for here is the Mercury sextile Uranus, also happening on Wednesday on that full moon, and that's happening at a Virgo degree. So the Mercury sextile Uranus. Let's see what the universe wants to tell us for Mercury sextile Uranus on Wednesday. Okay, so we have the Emperor taking charge. Okay, so it says organization, leadership, and structure. So I'm kind of feeling this Uranus on the North Node energy leading us into the life that we want to live. And with Mercury there in its sextile, also heading into its, I don't know, yeah, I think it's still heading into its conjunction to the sun at that point. It's bringing us, into this space, and with Pluto in opposition to it, helping with that power. So again, this is the leadership in order to move forward into the unique life that we want to live. So again, good card. Okay, let's move on. Also on Wednesday into Thursday, we have Venus square Neptune. And I miswrote that. It is at an Aries degree. So let's take a look at that Venus square Neptune on Wednesday. What does the universe want us to know about that? So we have the Knight of Air. And in traditional tarot, this is the Knight of Swords. It says intellectual, determined, and motivated. So again, I feel like this being an Aries degree, and with Venus being in Gemini, there's almost like a change in direction or swift action that will be taking place and moving forward and rushing in. I don't want to say necessarily rushing, but definitely moving in to something new. Or moving into something new. Again, with the Emperor and that celebration card, we're pushing forward into something that it is that we want to do in the direction of our lives that in which we want to live, into the world that we want to live in. I just feel like, because to me, a lot of this is like a swift change in direction, or change in direction. This could be the mind racing, but I feel like more this is a change in direction. But I feel like this is more of a positive change. Swords, I sometimes kind of tend to read as negative, as they rule our thoughts and we can be trapped in them. But I feel like this is a positive, swift movement forward. All right. So let's look now. We're going to move on to Thursday with this Mercury aspecting the nodes at a Scorpio degree. So let's take a look at this. We've actually got a lot going on this week, so there's a few more cards we'll be pulling. Let's go look at Mercury aspecting the nodes on Thursday. What does the universe have to tell us about that? And it says, so we have the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Wands. So opportunity, creativity, and action. This feels like a new action step to take. So with this Scorpio energy, I feel like it's almost giving power probably to this Mercury aspect to the nodes, as Mercury is still in conjunction to the Sun and in opposition to Pluto, right? So this is giving us power to move forward in a certain direction. This is a new passion, new power, a new step forward into something that we want to do, into something that we desire. Wands, or in this case, fires, passion, desire, that action step forward. And this is kind of the step in taking that. And with Mercury conjunct the Sun, I feel like this is bringing kind of that fire, that I almost see the Sun fire, the fiery aspect to it. And with that Pluto and that Scorpio energy as well, this gives that power aspect and that desire aspect in that regard as well. So there's a certain desire here, a new desire, a new passion to push forward in. So again, it looks like there's some positive energy this week. Now we're going to move on. Ooh, skipped ahead Saturday. So at that Sun conjunct Mercury on Saturday in that Pisces degree. Let's take a look at that. All right, what does the universe have to tell us about that Sun conjunct Mercury on Saturday? This probably something I should have mentioned, but anyway, so we have the two of Swords here. So there's indecision, avoidance, and confusion. So I feel like at this Pisces degree, and I'm feeling more of this, like this Pisces energy and like this dream aspect, but it can be confusing. So Pisces can be confusing because it's not, Pisces is not logical. It very much goes with the flow. And with this, that's what could be confusing about this, because as the Mercury is conjunct the Sun, it enhances our mind. But it's at this Pisces degree, it's like, what the hell? Okay, I could be doing this, I could be doing this. I'm kind of confused. I feel like I'm being guided to do this, or my dream is this, but my mind is this. There could be that ego aspect in there as well, because remember, we're also opposition to that Pluto, so there could be somewhat in that Pluto opposition in Gemini. There's two sides to things. There's two swords here, a decision to make. But again, I think with that Pisces energy, leaning into that Pisces energy and listening to your intuition, there's confusion here, but the benefit of Pisces, as in it rules spirituality, as there is that aspect of intuition, the aspect of the dream, being in that dream state, understanding what goes on behind the scenes and not just what's in the mind. So this is confusion only in the mind, but it is not confusion in the heart, right? So, but again, this could be an indecision state, a confusion. I'm being kind of led to the Pisces just wants to chill. It could be that chill, easy Saturday type energy. And maybe you do just need to daydream. You need to come up with the fantasy of what you really want to maybe help to relieve this confusing aspect. right? So that's interesting, but not surprising. Okay, so then we're going to move on to Mercury trine Neptune on Sunday at an Aries degree. So let's see what the universe has to say for that Mercury trine Neptune on Sunday. Aries degree. Mercury trine Neptune on Sunday. Mercury trine Neptune. Mercury trine Neptune on Sunday. Okay. So this is the 10 of air, the 10 of swords. So it says endings, recovery, and freedom. So like I said about the Saturday of that confusion of that Sun conjunct Mercury at the Pisces degree, well now that we have Mercury trine Neptune, we're seeing the clarity of the vision here. So this is the 10 of swords in traditional tarot. This is the death of thoughts. It's an ending to something, but to me it's like the death of the thoughts. The death of all those negative thoughts floating around in your head. So that confusion can come up from that previous card of our mind not understanding how things are going to work. Because in Pisces, you don't understand Pisces. Pisces just goes with the flow. There's no structure to Pisces. The opposite of Pisces is Virgo, and that's your schedule, your day-to-day life, lining it all up. It can be very stressful if things don't fit exactly as it should be in perfect order. Well, with Pisces, there is no perfect order to anything. But I feel like when we get that aspect to Neptune, we're going to see clarity. Because this is at an Aries degree, right? Yes. Mercury trine Neptune at an Aries degree. So this is kind of that action step to take to maybe end that confusion, but also to gain that clarity, that intuitive clarity, because Neptune is going to open up. It's at home in Pisces. It's going to open up that intuitive aspect to this Mercury in Cancer, which can also bring that intuitive aspect as well. And it's going to give death to those ego thoughts. So as conjunct the sun, it brings up all this stuff and confusion and enhances the mind. And then all of a sudden it's just done. Right? We're going to gain, there's going to be some kind of ending to that confusion. We're going to feel possibly guided in some way through this 10 of swords. But yeah, interesting energy and stuff going on this week. Okay. So then also on the same day, we do have Sun trine Neptune. Maybe don't need, well, we'll pull a card for that anyway. Also at that Aries degree. So let's pull a card for that Sun trine Neptune on Sunday. What does the universe have to say for that Sun trine Neptune on Sunday? Okay, so we have the Moon card. Again, I was talking about intuition. This is the card of intuition. That's intuition, illusion, and revelation. This is the card of also maybe the opportunity to improve your plans. So it's listening to your intuition to improve your plans. So we had that confusion and maybe that death of those thoughts. With the death of those thoughts, it gave you an opportunity to improve. So maybe this improvement, this idea of listening to your intuition, going with the flow, going with the guidance to improve your plans and maybe move in a different direction to alleviate that confusion, killed off those negative thoughts within the mind. So again, it doesn't surprise me that two intuitive signs having this aspect to each other in a very powerful degree brings this card. So improvement of plans, again, it's that guided, it's that Aries energy, that guidance of what to take action steps on intuitively to improve, to move forward, to fix something, right? It's taking action on that. So I feel like this can feel a bit icky as you kind of have to listen to your intuition. You may be facing some elusive aspects, but again, it's gaining clarity through this and moving forward and bringing an end to those thoughts. So cool. It's really interesting. All right. Then also on Sunday, later into the evening, I want to pull a card for the Venus ingress Cancer. We have Venus at the last degree there of Leo, a critical degree. And now we're going to move into Cancer. So Venus ingress Cancer on Sunday. Let's see what the universe has to tell us about that. Go again here. So Venus ingress Cancer on Sunday. Oh, come on. Venus ingress Cancer on Sunday. What does the universe want us to know? You know what? There's too much coming up. Let's go again. Venus ingress Cancer on Sunday. Come on, just bring me one card. You're giving me too much. Venus ingress Cancer on Sunday. Okay. We've got a lot popping up here. I'm going to do them all because... So, the first card I pulled here, I got 3 cards out of this. First card is the Three of Swords. It says sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. I'm getting kind of the hit that as we're moving into Cancer, it's going to be a bit sensitive and it may feel heartbreaking. I kind of feel like more of the sensitivity in terms of the heart. This is on Sunday, right? Yeah. Yeah, and we're leading into that Monday with the moon and Aries. Okay. So we may be feeling hurt. This is also healing, so it's a release, could be a release of the past. That's kind of what I initially felt when I saw this card. But I feel like sensitivities in regards to the heart are coming up here. But it's a release of the past. There's something going on here because we have 2 Pentacle cards here. First one we have is the Six of Earth, which is the Six of Pentacles. So it says charity, generosity, and windfall. So there's some kind of material balance coming in here. So again, this could be the start of the manifestation of this, or what you want to manifest into reality, right? And into moving the direction that we want to go in. Because Venus coming into Cancer, we're nurturing something. We're nurturing the aspects of Venus, career, money, material things, relationships. And there's a certain material balance coming into this. You may receive something materially. There may be some kind of material balance coming into play here. And I feel with this King of Pentacles here, this King of Earth, it says prosperous, generous, successful. So you're going to lead to some kind of success, lead to some kind of control over your finances, over your material things, and over your abundance. So there is an aspect here of being the king of your own material world. I'm trying to bring words to what is coming into my head right now. The easiest way would be to say abundance. This could be a new manifestation, a new idea that you feel prosperous in doing or coming to fruition in this regard, making an investment that pays off, right? So again, it goes with how I read the astrology in terms of we're going through this weekend of, we've set our goals, we're maybe a bit confused, and then we kind of get this intuitive hit to kind of go through with certain things. And Venus in Cancer, which is going to be a decently long transit, but it's going to bring us to a place of material balance and fulfillment, right? And it may feel it's going to be a release of the past. We may feel sensitive with it at first, but there's a balance and some fulfillment and abundance that comes from it. All right. There's a lot more information there that wanted to come out than I was ready for. Okay, so then we're going to move on to Monday here. where we have Mercury opposition Pluto, that Gemini degree. So Mercury opposition Pluto on Monday. What does the universe want to tell us about this Mercury opposition Pluto on Monday? How does this not surprise me at all? So we have 16. It's called transformation. In traditional tarot, this is the Tower card. Okay, it says realization, life change, and liberation. This is the Tower coming down. This is immense transformation and change. So again, the card says transformation. Again, Pluto, that's what rules transformation. What degree are we at? We're at a Gemini degree. So Mercury opposition Pluto, this is transformation. This is the death of something. And it has to deal with our local environment, our minds, something, we're moving into a new space here. We're moving on, we're moving into a new space, we're transforming. Like I said, this could bring up a lot of stuff. This could be intense energy, but I feel like this is positive. The Tower card is sometimes kind of seen as a negative card, but again, the Tower was not sitting on a stable foundation to begin with, right? The reason it fell is because it couldn't stand any longer. So it had to be knocked down. So there is a transformation coming with this, and Pluto and Capricorn is helping with this. So yeah, so let's move on, because there's some other that got the Sun opposed Pluto here too, and we'll kind of see what comes up. So first off, I do have this. Well, screw it. We'll do the Sun opposed Pluto first on Tuesday as well. So I'll grab a card for the Sun opposition Pluto on Tuesday as well. What does the universe want to tell us about that? Sun opposed Pluto on Tuesday. What does the universe want to tell us here? That didn't want to come. Okay, Sun opposition Pluto on Tuesday. Oh, come on. We can just say transformation again. It's probably going to, Sun opposed Pluto Tuesday. Come on, cards. Sun opposed Pluto Tuesday. What does the universe want to say? Okay. All right, we got the Three of Swords energy again. So it says sorrow, forgiveness, and healing. We got the Sun in Cancer opposed Pluto in Capricorn. So again, there's okay, so Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio, I know people give Scorpio a bad rap, but they shouldn't, because Scorpio is intensely healing energy. Scorpio is what heals. That transformation is what heals. It's that sexual energy, that life force energy. You ever had a Reiki treatment or do any energy work? It's that energy. That's the energy that this is, right? So it's that transformation. It's that healing energy. It's extremely powerful. And with this Three of Swords, again, it's the release of the past. It's that, the stake through the heart, right? So this could bring up, again, there's sensitivities, like I was reading in the astrology, like I said, that could be brought up. There could be a defensive aspect to this, but these things need to come up to be released, right? It's a release of the past. We have also that transformation with Mercury opposed Pluto as well. So there's definitely some transformative aspects here as we lead into this third quarter square that will happen the following day. The last thing I want to pull on this here is that Mercury ingress Leo on Tuesday. We've got planets changing signs. We've got lots of stuff going on. Let's see here. So let's Mercury ingress Leo on Tuesday. What does the universe want to tell us about that? Mercury ingress Leo. So we got the Six of Pentacles again. This is charity, generosity, and windfall. There's some kind of balance coming in. Again, Mercury is at a critical degree in Leo, at an intense degree. And this is dealing with aspects of love. What do we want to do, right? This is, I feel like aspects of creativity. Maybe we're going to be making money off of our creativity in some way. There's an aspect of material balance coming into play with this energy as Mercury comes into Leo. And again, that plays with this Venus ingress Cancer stuff as coming into material balance as well. So yeah, it looks like, I want to say a positive week. It looks like near the end, there's very transformative aspects. It may feel intense while we're in them, but I feel like once we get past it and understand the realization of what we have to go through with this energy, I feel like we're going to be in a better space on the other side of it. So anyways, have a good week, everyone. We'll end off this video here. If you did like this, I ask that you please like it. If you want to subscribe to see more, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. If you want to follow me on social media or get any readings or anything with me, all the links are in the description below. I am doing sun sign horoscope videos this week as well for your sun, moon, and rising signs. So there's one video, let's say you're in Aries, or if you have Aries, sun, moon, or rising, you can watch that video that affects your sun, moon, rising, and then watch the other videos that affect your other sun, moon, rising aspects as well. And I'll be posting those up hopefully after this video. So we're trying something new there as well. So go check that out, see if you like it. And yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye.